I know how it feels when you're trying to make your man get an orgasm from a head. I know how terrible we feel when you already have it all planned out. You've taken a class, you've taken a blowjob class, you've learned all the tips, you've got your expectations, you're going with all the energy to the bedroom to give him the kind of head that will make him marvel, and you want him to come from your head. You know, when your man comes from your head game, it makes you feel some kind of special. Now, you begin to work yourself up. You begin to ask yourself too many questions. Why is he not coming? Is it that he's not finding me attractive enough? Is it that I am not doing what I'm meant to do well? Is it that my blowjob game is bad? What exactly is going on? Now you begin to ask yourself numerous questions. You begin to get really unnecessarily angry and uncomfortable about the situation. Tonight's episode, I'm going to be helping you understand different ways you can salvage the situation. So when it's not coming from your head game, what are the other things you can do? How can you help him manage the situation? Do you really have to make him come? Does he really have to come from your head game? Him not coming from your head game, does it mean that it's a bad blowjob? These are the many questions we're going to be analyzing tonight. Number one, understand that your mouth on the penis is different from when his penis is inside your vagina. Now, when his penis is inside your vagina, there's a level of sensation that the penis enjoys over time and tends to ejaculate from these sweet sensations. Now, it is not exactly the same when you put his penis in your mouth. The sensations derived from the penis being in the mouth is quite different from the sensations of when his penis is inside the vagina. So there are two different experiences. So it is normal. It is very normal if somehow he's finding it very difficult to ejaculate, to get to orgasm from a mouth job. It doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. It doesn't mean you're not doing it right. It's just the fact that he's also trying to balance the experience he's getting, to balance the level of sensations he's getting from the two different experiences. He wants to get an orgasm. He's actually experiencing the process to getting an orgasm, but somehow is not getting the orgasm. Not because you're doing a bad job, but because the sensations are not the same. He's already used to the sensation he gets from his penis being in the vagina. And now this is another level of sensation that he's enjoying, that he's experiencing. So he might find it a bit difficult to get to orgasm, which is clearly not your fault. So you need to understand that. Number two, some men are used to masturbating. They have a particular stroking pattern that they are used to. So when the penis is not in the vagina and then he's masturbating, there's a particular stroking pattern he's used to. So when he's not getting the exact stroking pattern that he's used to, you may begin to feel like it's taking forever to get to orgasm, which is not your fault. All right? Which is not your fault. So stroking patterns can also be a huge factor to causing a distraction when your man wants to get an orgasm. So you're giving him a head, you're putting all the energy, he's enjoying it, but it still feels different from what he's used to when he's masturbating. So how is that your fault? Number three, the truth is that some men have a programmed mind already. So their mind has been programmed to think that, oh, if my penis is not inside the vagina, I cannot have an orgasm. I can enjoy the sensations, she's using her mouth, she's using her hand, but regardless, I still want my penis inside the vagina, and that is the only way I can get to orgasm and ejaculate. Some men are like that, and it is not your fault. Now, I've just highlighted 3 reasons why it might be difficult for your man to come from a head. Now, note that come is just a slang. There's really no such word, come. In the real sense, it is termed as an orgasm. But we are all used to hearing come, 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 come. So permit me to just say come, so that a layman would be able to relate with what I am talking about. Do you get it? Now, we're proceeding to now analyzing how you can now actually make him come from a head. So now that you know all these things that I've just stated, how can you now make him come from a head? What is the possibility of trying different things to make him come? So let's try these few tips together. Number 1, tell him to tell you his stroking patterns when he's masturbating, or watch him masturbate for you. Now, when he masturbates for you, you're able to master the level of his stroking patterns. You're able to tell if he's putting so much pressure or he's not putting too much pressure. Now, when you're able to watch this, you're able to channel the energy to how you give him a head. So if you've been giving him a fantastic head all the while, yes, because it would be fantastic. I mean, it's been fantastic, really. Maybe you've been putting lots of pressure, and then he's used to a stroking pattern that involves a lesser pressure. Then what it simply means is that you are going to be using your mouth to give a lesser pressure on his penis. That's better off. It's going to enjoy it much more better that way, and it might just be getting to orgasm or pretty much close to getting an orgasm. In most cases, he's getting the orgasm because you just did what he really, really needed to get him to orgasm. Am I making sense? Number 2, you may want to level it up with an additional toy, to add more vibrations to what you're doing. So you're using your mouth, and then maybe there's a bullet as an extra toy that you're also using to add to the level of sensations. So your mouth is doing justice to the penis, but then the bullet vibrator or any kind of vibrator is also adding to the pleasure that is getting from your head, right? Because for some men, they enjoy it when the sensations are multiple. They enjoy it when the sensations are mixed. So he's enjoying sensation here and there, and then you are probably giving the kind of sensations that he can only feel it on a particular side, or on an angle. So he's enjoying what you're doing, but then he's still craving for more sensations in other areas. But you, on the other hand, you're only focusing on one direction. So you can actually bring a toy to the game, all right, to add up to the pleasure. So he's able to experience the mixture of sensations that can get him to orgasm. Number 3. So when he's not coming, you can actually do something else. So you've been giving him a head, and then it looks like it's taking forever. It's okay to do other things. Give him other forms of stimulation. You want to go to his nipples, you want to go to his neck, you want to go to other areas on his body that enjoys stimulation, or you just probably want to go back to kissing him. You want to kiss him, you want to play with his toes, you want to do other things entirely. All right. Now, when you shift the attention from his penis to other areas of his body, right, it can actually cause him more excitement because he's been enjoying what you've been doing. And the moment you're taking the excitement away from that particular thing you were doing to his penis, and then there's a shift. There's a mind shift at that moment because you've gone to another zone on his body to pleasure him. There's an expectation. There's a way he's really excited and anticipating your mouth on his penis again. So by the time you explore other places on his body and take your mouth back to the penis, he's likely to get an orgasm at that time. Why? Because he's been anticipating your arrival. You've given him a level of sensation before you gave him a mind shift. It's still in his mind. The reactions are still there. The rush is still there. And then you've been able to give him a mind shift by focusing on other zones on his body where he's also still enjoying sensations. And because every zone explored, there is a different level of sensation that is experienced, right? He gets to enjoy different experiences and he's still craving for the real experience on the penis. By the time you take your mouth to his penis, oh my goodness, he is likely to orgasm, to ejaculate, to shoot like mwah. The last tip here is you not actually giving a hoot. Like, whether he is getting an orgasm or not, should you really work yourself up? You don't need to. So take your mind off the fact that he has to get an orgasm when you give him a head. Just focus on the pleasure that you are giving. Give him the kind of pleasure that would make him go wow, and that's all that matters. All right, so pleasure him really good and do other things. Whether he's getting an orgasm from it or not, it doesn't really matter. Focus on the pleasure that will be derived. Focus on the pleasure that you'll be given, and that's just it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that after watching this video, you're able to feel convinced and not confuse yourself that it is okay to give him a head and he doesn't have to come from it. It doesn't have to get an orgasm. You're totally fine. It doesn't mean you've done anything bad. It doesn't mean you're poor at it. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It doesn't mean that he doesn't find you attractive. It doesn't mean anything. Just do your thing, be yourself, and that's it. If you'd like to learn more or have a one-on-one with me, we can get talking and do our thing in the class. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos as usual. Keep watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you very much. Bye.